you want to smell like a freshly squeezed piece of fruit. Hello, my name is Ellison, and on this channel I do perfume reviews, and I am trying to help you find the next best fragrance to add to your collection. So if that is something that you are interested in seeing more of, then I would highly suggest you hit that subscribe button down below just to stay in the loop with my future uploads. So today we are reviewing the newest addition to this fragrance house's collection. This fragrance house, listen, I love this. We're talking about Commodity Juice today, and if you watched my Commodity Exploration Kit unboxing, you will know how much I love Commodity. Commodity is it is such a classic, sophisticated, but modern perfume house, and I mean, I am just beyond impressed with the fragrances that they release. Worth every single penny, high quality, well crafted. I mean, just the most beautiful fragrances. So today we are going to review their Juice perfume, which is the newest addition to their collection. And let me tell you, I am not typically a fruity perfume wearer, but this was absolutely stunning. This was beautiful, okay? I mean, this could make a believer out of me. So what I'm going to do is I am going to look at each of the scent spaces, okay? Because there's 3 scent spaces with Commodity. If you are new to the Commodity brand, there are 3 scent spaces. So there is Personal, there is Expressive, and then there is Bold. Personal is like, oh, me and maybe the person standing next to me can smell it. Expressive is your typical standard strength of perfume. And then Bold is, hello, she has arrived, okay? That is the Commodity scent space. That's how they do all of their fragrances, okay? You will see that with every single one of their newer, their collection, the current collection that they have. They have every fragrance with the 3 different scent spaces, just so that way you can get the perfume that is perfect for you. So we're going to start with Personal, okay? Because I feel like, so typically, you know what? No, that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the Expressive. So Commodity recommends that when you are trying out these new fragrances, that you start with Expressive, and they go into detail with that in the exploration kit, with how you should really be testing these fragrances and where you should start when you are going through them. So Expressive, like I said, this is the standard strength of perfume. We're going to spray that out on my little testy card here. Oh my word. Let's look at the fragrance notes here. So with the Expressive, Juice Expressive, the first fragrance notes, top notes, are raspberry pulp and strawberry. The middle notes are Bulgarian rose and cyclamen. And then the bottom notes are amberwood and rhubarb, okay? Very fruity. Like, this screams fruity. And what I would have to say is that it's a very berry-ish, okay? Obviously, we have raspberry, we have strawberry. Very berry-ish, very juicy, okay? It is what you are thinking of when you think juicy, okay? It's just that fresh, fruity, very, this sounds nasty, but it's wet, okay? Like, it smells wet. It smells sort of sticky, and not in like the dessert way, okay? I think that sometimes when we think sticky, we think dessert. We think, oh, we're having cake, we're having pudding. No, this is fruity sticky, okay? That natural sweetness. That's really what this fragrance is leaning into, is a very natural sweetness, that fruity sweetness that, you know, you love on a hot summer's day, okay? Oh, I'm having my bowl of strawberries for breakfast, okay? That's really what this perfume is giving me. It's just that very fresh but sticky kind of fruitiness. Now, I will say that the Bulgarian rose, there is a rosy texture to this perfume, and I really like that it's fruity, but it also has that rose in there, which gives it sort of, I feel like more of a wearability. Okay, I feel like florals tend to be very wearable, very versatile as far as where you can wear them. And I feel like the rose in this perfume really makes it easy to wear. It makes it very approachable. And I feel like it makes it appropriate for a lot of different occasions. Just because with fruit, sometimes they feel a little casual, sometimes they feel a little day at the beachy, but this, I really felt like, you know what, I could wear this more places. I could wear this, you know, maybe more as a professional. I could wear this more, right? It's a little bit more versatile, and I think that's because of the Bulgarian rose. And then there's also the amberwood, which really gives it sort of a like some depth to it, okay? It gives it a little bit of weight. It gives it a little bit of warmth. This is not a warm perfume, but it gives it the warmth that it needs to make it a little bit more versatile. Beautiful fragrance, beautiful fragrance. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to personal. Now, personal it's sort of the, hey, we're going to make it a little bit more subtle, okay? This is more of your subtle fragrance. This is more of your, okay, I don't want to make a scene, okay? That's not me. I want to make a scene with my perfume. But, you know, I know that there's a lot of you out there, the things I do for love. I know there's a lot of you out there that it's like, I don't want my perfume to be the star of the show. I want it to be, you know, second string actor. So the only difference between this perfume and the Expressive perfume is that they have an added top note, and that is violet leaf, okay? So a little bit more floral, but in a green way, okay? I would have to say that this gives it more of a greenness, more of a freshness about it, okay? Expressive, the Juice Expressive fragrance, it was very fruity. It was very vibrant and loud. But with this, I would have to say that with the violet leaf, it gives it a little bit more of a softness. It gives it a little bit more of more approachable. It's more approachable. Now, when I wore this, it wasn't one of those deals where I couldn't smell it, okay? I think that that's something that I really worried about when testing the personal fragrance, was that I wouldn't be able to smell it. I automatically assumed that, oh, since it's personal, it's more of a subtle fragrance, then, you know, it's not going to be strong. I'm not going to be able to smell it on myself. Nope. This perfume, it performed, okay? It was there. It was present. It was fragrant. I could smell this perfume. Had no problems with that. But I would definitely say that with the violet leaf, it's a little bit gentler. It's a little bit more, like I said, approachable. It's very easy to wear. And I would have to say that of the three, I actually preferred the personal. The personal was my favorite just because it really was gentle, and it really was a gentler, fruity perfume. And coming from somebody that typically doesn't like fruit, doesn't prefer a fruity fragrance, this is definitely the kind of fruity that I'm going for, is more of that fresh, green kind of fruity rather than berries and really like sticky sweet fruity. And so I really liked the personal just because it was a little bit more fresh. All right, and lastly, for all of you guys out there that it's like, I want my perfume to be head turning. I want my perfume to make a scene. I want my perfume to stand out amongst the crowd and make a name for itself. Then right here it is, okay? This is bold. This is Juice Bold. Where's the little nodule? There it is. Woo! Okay, now let's look at that. So with bold, what it is supposed to do, what the point of bold is to fill a room. Okay, the point of bold is to be bold, okay? It is to show up. It is to arrive, okay? So, the first notes for this is just the raspberry pulp and strawberry. The second notes, the middle notes, are the Bulgarian rose and the cyclamen, and they move rhubarb from the base notes into the middle notes. Now, the base notes are amberwood, and then they added vetiver and patchouli. Okay, so this one, very fruity, but what I would have to say about this one is that it's more of a spice, okay? It's spiced a little bit more, okay? You can still really get that rose. You still get a lot of the fruit. It's a little bit stickier than the personal. But what I would have to say is that it's really leaning into the greenness of the vetiver, and it's really leaning into the spice of the patchouli and the warmth of the amberwood, okay? Still very fruity, still very juicy, still sticky. But what I would have to say is that instead of being fresh, like the personal scent base, and instead of being super sticky, super fruity, like the Expressive, this is a little bit spicier. This is just a little bit, okay? I don't want to confuse you and make you think, oh, it's a spicy perfume. This is not spicy, but it is more spicy than the other two, okay? And I would definitely say that I'm getting a lot more floral in this one than I'm getting in the other two, okay? The other two, very fruity, very green. This, a little bit more floral for me than the others. And I really like this one too, okay? I like this one better than the Expressive. So I prefer, like my favorite was the Personal. This is my second favorite. And I think that it really is just because this one, it has that floral spiced greenness to it, okay? It's very strong. It's very bold. But what I'd have to say is that it really gives me a little bit more of a mature feel about it, okay? The Expressive, very energetic, very lively, very young, very fruity. With the bold, what I'm getting is I'm very mature. I still love fruity fragrances, and I still love my perfumes to make it like to be smelled. I want them to be smelled. I want people to think, oh my word, who just walked in the room? Okay, that's what this gives me is I'm mature. I like fruity fragrances, but I still want my perfume to be loud, okay? Just because you're mature, just because maybe you are a little bit older than other people, doesn't mean that you don't want fruity, and it doesn't mean that you don't want a loud perfume, obviously. I'm gonna be like 95 and wearing my marshmallow perfume up and down the hallways, okay? I'll be dousing myself in it. But what, like this, really gives that, it just gives a more mature version of fruit. And I love that. I really like that. And I think that the patchouli, I think a lot of people hate patchouli, actually. Patchouli is very popular. Patchouli is very common. But I've heard a lot of people like, I hate patchouli. This does not, I mean, I think patchouli can very easily, like, get out of control, okay? I think it's a little bit of a wild card as far as fragrance notes go, where it can sort of take over. But what I would have to say about this is that the patchouli is very well done to where it's not like, oh, hey guys, I smell patchouli, but it blends very well with the other fragrance notes to a more manageable amount. You still smell it. It's still there. And so what I have to say is that if you are like a no patchouli person, I would definitely go for more of the Expressive or the Personal. But if you do like patchouli, if patchouli is like, whatever, right? Whatever with it, then I would have to say give Juice a try, the Bold a try, Juice Bold a try, just because it's very well blended, okay? If you're willing to give it a try, I'd definitely do that. And I would definitely try either the Exploration Kit with the whole collection in it, or I would just get, like, if you're just interested in Juice, I would just get their little discovery pack of the Juice scent spaces, just because I think that each one of them are very unique. And if you are into fruity, then I think that that would be a really good avenue for you to go, just as far as getting a very well-made, well-crafted, mature, fruity fragrance, and sort of getting a feel for the different scent spaces that Commodity has to offer. I'm sort of trying to figure out what else I need to touch on here. Since I did review all three of the scent spaces, I would have to say that for me, Juice is not my fancy fragrance, okay? Juice will never be my fancy fragrance. I feel like Juice is definitely it's like a more casual fragrance for me. And it's definitely, in my life, I would only wear it during the warmer months, during warmer weather, just because it is so juicy, it is so fruity. It's very vibrant and it's very alive. And I just can't be that alive during the winter. No, I feel like those fragrances that are very fresh and green and alive in nature, they just really, I'm not in the mood for them in the winter and in the fall seasons. For me, those fresher fragrances, those very alive fragrances, in my day-to-day life, I'm more in the mood for them in the spring and in the summer. In the winter and in the fall, I'm really in the mood for something a little bit heavier, a little bit cozier, and something that's a little snugger to me, and it's more snuggly than it is airy and fresh and alive, okay? I really just want to be allowed to hibernate during the winter, and I feel like the fruity fragrances, they don't really do that. So I would really reserve this for warmer weather. So those are my thoughts on the Commodity Juice fragrance, all 3 scent spaces. If you would like to get your hands on these fragrances, I will link all the details down below. I will link the full-size bottles if you're ready to commit, but I will also link the Discovery set down there, just so that way if you're like, you know what, I really just want to test it before I do any sort of commitment, totally get that, then I will link that down below for you as well, just so that way you can really get a grip for what the fragrance smells like before you commit to the full-size bottle. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are interested in seeing the full Commodity collection and the exploration kit and a full explanation for the scent spaces, then I would highly encourage you to watch this video right here. This is my Commodity unboxing of the exploration kit, so you can really get a feeler. I go into all the details in that video, so I would definitely give that a watch. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you oh so very much, and until we meet again, so long.